Alright guys, we're going to be on Malinovka in the Hawk 30. We're running CVS, Bounty Optics, and Bounty Low Noise Exhaust on this vehicle. And this is a tier 10 game. I'm kind of trying to remember what happened in this game, but I know I did, I want to say it was close to 7k combined, right? So we did really, really well in this game. I wanted to share it with you. I'm going to fast forward just at the very beginning here. I know people hate it when I do this, man. Like some people comment like it's so annoying, but I don't want to. The thing is, guys, it takes a really long time to record these videos, and it's not so much of a time-saving thing for me. It's a time-saving thing for you, right? So I don't want you guys to have to like fast forward so much when you're watching the video. So I poke up here. It's very likely that the boar lit me here because see the angle. This bush. A lot of people like to come to this bush, right? The thing is, even if you approach it on the left side, like you saw how I came up like right here almost, there's still an angle for this boar sitting here to spot me right like this. Like this bush, if Wargaming was able to make this like a whole bush line like this, I feel like that would be a little bit better. You know, people can say what they want about this, but I feel like it would definitely help light tanks a little bit more. But there is an angle there around the bush for enemies to spot you if they sit here. So what a lot of people end up doing is they'll run instead to these like pockets. Whoops. They'll run to these pockets like over here and over here. I would encourage you guys to do the same thing because once you get here, you're usually pretty safe and people have to YOLO, you know, they just have to YOLO you. They have to go down and YOLO you, or else you're going to be there, right? And there's nothing they can do about it. So you'll basically be perma-spotting anyone who's in this area like the boar is right now. So that's an option. I like to come to this bush just to get those initial spots. You can come up to the hill. I've showed you guys this play. I decided, because I think there was only the even 90, I figured it was very likely that the even 90 was going to go to this bush right here, which already it looks like someone is pinging. So I was just going to come here. We get an initial shot at the Scorpion, right? And 644 spotting we get from him as well. And now we're just going to kind of stay here for a moment, see who else we can spot. I think I do get a couple shots into the heavies, and I'm just being very careful. Something you have to keep in mind here is you can get hit in this area of the map, right? Usually from the east spawn, you can get hit, like, it's easier for people to hit you. I can't really explain why. It's just the way the ridge lines work at the, you know, northeast and northwest of this map, kind of, or the hill is not as big as I thought. It's kind of like almost in the middle here, but you guys know what I mean, right? Like I'm talking about the hill, the west side of the hill and the east side of the hill, or however you want to look at it. Where my guys are, it's a lot easier, in my opinion, and from what I've experienced, for them to get shots into someone that's here, compared to their enemies, or our enemies, jeez, getting shots into me, right? So from their side, I feel like it's more difficult to get shots. From our side, I feel like it's much easier. And that's just the way that ridgeline works over there. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Like, it's just weird, man. Like, you can kind of get a feel for these things when you play these maps enough. But I always feel safer on my side than I do on the enemy side. And that's just the way it is. There are some trees here, so I think it's easier for people to, like, poke up, stay behind the trees, and shoot you so you can't outspot them. Whereas over here, you don't really get that. It's a little bit different, man. You know, you only have like these little bushes here, and I just, for whatever reason, guys, it's just the way it is, man. I can't explain it. We're trying to basically get blind shots into the even. I put a few HE shells over here, right? So I'm just going to show you guys these shots. I put them on each side of the bush because I know the even 90 is really small, right? And the first or second shot I took, I didn't see a splash. So when you're shooting HE, it's even more easy to see if you're hitting someone or not, because if you shoot and there's no splash behind the bush, which with HE again is like it's going to be a huge explosion, you're not hitting anything, right? If you see it, if you see the splash. If you don't see the splash, it means they're going into something. So keep shooting, right? So again, I'm going to poke up here. Scorpion is here. I'm able to clean this guy up. I'm trying to get the gun depression, man. Like, the gun depression sometimes is so trollish on this ridgeline. And I almost got this guy. Luckily, someone else was able to clean him up. And we won the hill really fast, right? So now the good thing is we can kind of push up here. I think I loaded a heat for the Sioux, and the track just eats it, man. This is why I don't like heat. But eventually we're going to be able to push in because we've won the hill really, really fast. And my team is taking it so fast that I actually was late here. Like, I probably should have just went over this bush, but I want to pick up some speed so that just in case I'm lit, right? Because the boar was still sitting over there. Just in case I'm lit, I have a little bit of speed to get down to where the Centurion is. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm now approaching. I like to zigzag around. Sioux 101 gets spotted by me coming in here, and I'm lit probably by one of these guys in the back, you know, Centurion or Samua or something like that, right? And now we're going to try and poke up. Somebody got a really like big shot on one of these guys. I put in the chat like, Jesus, like somebody hit him really hard, man. I don't know what it was. It was like a rack or something, or the T30 maybe. I don't know. Like, we don't have any big hitters on our team that I can see. I mean, we don't have like any FV 4005s, but we're going to be able to advance really, really quickly, guys. And one thing I wanted to just draw your attention to is there's only one person over here currently. And what I saw on the map is the boar wasn't there anymore. The Cobra and Waffle are really the two biggest concerns for me. And then you have the Centurion and the boar, and we knew this where the Centurion was. So what I decided to do is actually stay low here and kind of go through this area. And it's likely that if the Centurion is over in this corner, if he did have a shot on me, it wouldn't be an easy one, and he probably targets someone else, you would think, right? And then he gets spotted here, and now I can stay low and kind of stay away from the Cobra. So just the way the path I took, right, limited shots from the Cobra and the Waffle, and then once I kind of went into where they could shoot me, I dropped down here to stay safe from them, and also this pathway keeps you somewhat safe from people that sit back here where the boar and the Centurion was. So that's kind of the perfect path to take in my eyes if the rest of your team is rushing down like this. Otherwise, you can just literally run straight down the hill if you want. But that's the way I decided to go. Cobra is here, getting one more shot into him, and that's the game. But I wanted to draw that out for you guys. I remember that's one reason why I really wanted to save this, because this final run that you make to spot the rest of the team in this last, like, I would say 4 or 5 squares of the map. We'll just say 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, like right here. Like this portion, I hope you guys can kind of see this. I know it's at the corner. And hopefully it's not blocked by my little, like, watermark or whatever. But this corner of the map is the most trickiest to spot, right? It's no different than like trying to spot kind of like this last 6 squares of the map over here. It's very, very challenging, man, to spot this area of the map, and that's why this map is nicknamed Campanovka, right? Skill has nicknamed this map Campanovka because it's so easy to camp this out. If you have a good light tank player, even if you're on the losing team, right, currently, and you're trying to defend, it's very easy to spot people coming in because the map is wide open, and your tank destroyers can get shots while still staying behind foliage. So that's the pathway I would take. Again, we kind of came down like this. You stay in this little swamp area and then come through like this, and then you can hug the side of this little lake right here, and it limits shots from people over here and also over here. Not 100%. You're still going to get whacked, guys. So you want to conserve your HP, but I'm telling you, it's the best line, in my opinion, you can drive to try and stay away from enemy fire, right? In my opinion. If you have a play that works better, go for it. But that's what I decided to do in this one. And this is how we played it, guys. So that's all. I don't think I have anything more I really want to talk about here. Just be really careful when you poke this bush. Again, I told you, I really think Wargaming should just make that a solid like bush line. But one final time too, these shots from where my team was compared to the shots that the enemy team would have, right? These are easier to hit in my opinion. So if you are the enemy light tank, in this situation, like if you were the even 90 and you went up to this area, run, man. Like if you get spotted there and the other enemy light tank is there, I would suggest you just run away, honestly. Like try and see if you can get dark. You can go dark first, But it's just not worth it, man. I'm telling you, like, for whatever reason, man, the way this ridgeline works on both sides, it's just so much easier for people to hit you from here than it is from over here. So, again, I know I said this like 3 times, but I really want to emphasize these things to you because a lot of people watch my channel for light tanks, and that is a really, really important thing to mention because you're going to die early if you try and make this play and just stay there and don't run away. It can also happen from the other side too. It's just they need to make this ditch like a little deeper if you're going to stay safe there. So, but I don't think Wargaming will ever change that. Wargaming doesn't really care about lights, man, if I'm being honest. Like, they just don't, guys. It's the case. Like, they always design maps to be brawling maps, right? So, that's why lights are tricky, man. And that's why I present to you guys information in the way I present it, and why on my channel, why I like doing my channel, right? Because I try and be as unique as possible. So here's the emplates, guys. This was a first class game. We did 2,422 damage, 1,236 experience. We got this badge here, and yeah, that's really all I want to comment on. The even 90, he actually did 169 experience, so he probably did get a decent amount of spotting from that standard bush. And we made 189k from this, plus we banked 22k into the reserve. And we got a mission, and I think we were running like personal reserves and stuff like that. So if you run premium and you run your personal reserves, you can make a crap ton of money. And then the total, guys, was, we actually only hit like half of our shots too, but the total damage was 2422 after everything, and the assistance was 4364. It was close to 7k, man. It's pretty close to 7k, a little bit less than that, and that's how I did it, guys. So I hope this helps you out. Again, I know I say a lot of things like multiple times in the video, but I really want to, when I do that, the whole point of that is not to sound like a broken record. It's to really drive these things home. So you guys get on these maps and you're like, okay, I know I'm not supposed to stay, you know, in this area because it's not a good area, right? Like, it's, if I'm in this area and a light tank spots me, by the way, this is only a 5-minute and 41-second game, which is ridiculous on Malinovka. But if I'm in this area, you know, Whirls said it's not safe in this area, then I need to run. Like, so you guys know when you need to run, when you can hold your ground, right? This is why I emphasize these things to you, and I say them over and over and over again, and I do videos every single day so that you guys can see different situations on different maps. Hope it helps you out. Catch you for the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye, guys.